When we're talking about losing weight, we usually are talking about what to eat, the macros, the micros, protein, sugar, carbs, quantities, but we don't always talk about drinking and what we're going to drink throughout the day. And we can go a long time without food, whereas we can't go a long time without water. We can go weeks. Some people who do intermittent fasting, extended intermittent fasting, they can go several days or even weeks without any food. But we can't go days and days without water. What we are going to put in our bodies is food and liquids, and we need to talk about liquids. We need to talk about what are we taking in when we are drinking. So I like to have pretty cups, colorful cups when I'm drinking tea or coffee, and I have my handy water bottle with me at all times, pretty much. And this brand is fantastic because it doesn't spill. I always want to have a water bottle with me. These are handy too, that you can get for coffee, and then you can put this in your car when you're driving. But it's really nice to have some options, and it just makes it more fun too. Because as you're losing weight and as you're maintaining the weight loss after you've reached your goal weight, you'll want to do things that will make it interesting, to make it fun, to make you get through those times when you're tempted to do things that you did in the past, maybe when you were a yo-yo dieter like myself for decades, and you were used to doing certain things. So having a nice cup or a mug to drink your coffee or your tea in the morning can help, or even to drink your water. Sometimes I will fill all of my cups up with just water, and I'll have them on my kitchen counter, and then when I'm going and I'm tempted to go and snack, I can remember, oh yeah, today I'm planning on only having one meal, and I'm going to have a lot of water instead to help me get through those hours when I would have snacked or had a second or third meal. And so I can remember, yeah, that was my intention. I made my decision. I got all the cups out. I've got, say, 6 cups. I'm not into drinking lots and lots of water, but I aim for 6 or 7 cups a day. If I'm eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, I don't actually need to drink as much water because there's a lot of water already in those fruits and vegetables. But in general, 6 to 7 cups is what I aim for. So having fun cups, having pretty cups, that might help you. And it's one more thing, one more piece of the puzzle to help you get through those times when you're tempted to snack. And one other thing about drinking tea and coffee, if you're used to having cream and sugar in it, or even just sugar, aim to slowly start to wean yourself off of the sugar. And this will also help you not crave more sugar, because the less sugar we eat, the less we crave. So if you're used to a double-double, which is 2 creams and 2 sugars, then maybe just ask for 2 creams and 1 sugar, and then slowly wean off of the sugar. I did not think I could wean off sugar in my coffee and my tea, but I learned how to do it when I was losing the last 50 pounds of the 80 pounds, when I was really serious about losing the last amount of the weight. And to maintain it, I did learn how. I pushed myself. It did not taste very good, but I thought I've got to learn how to have coffee and tea without sugar. So I would whip up whipped cream, and I wouldn't add anything in it. It was literally just plain whipped cream, and I'd put that into my coffee, or I had a little mixer. I'd heat the milk, and then I'd whip up the milk and put it with my coffee. And it made it a little bit more fun than just having the plain coffee. I've tried plain coffee, black tea. I really don't like that. So I prefer it with cream or with milk. And so I did. I learned. I learned how to drink coffee and tea without sugar and without honey and without sweeteners. Now I'm just so used to it because it's been almost 3 years that I've been drinking it that way, and I just got used to it. We can change what we're used to doing. If we want a different future and a different outcome, we can change. It's hard, but we can change. And then it's not hard anymore. I don't even think about it. It doesn't even cross my mind to add sugar into my coffee and tea because it's become such a habit to not have it. For me, I count coffee in the morning when I have coffee with the cream or the milk into it. I count that as another meal because my insulin will get a little bit of a spike because there is some sugar in the cream or the milk. So I count that as a mini meal, but it still counts as a meal for me. So if I'm literally only doing 2 meals a day, I won't have my coffee in the morning. or I'll just have my coffee and then one main meal later at night. And so if I'm just having one meal a day, I won't have any coffee. I'll just have water all the way through till supper time. So that's the discussion today about drinks. And just be very aware that what you drink does matter. And we really need to talk about it, and we really need to analyze what we are drinking when we are trying to lose weight so as not to sabotage our weight loss. So don't just talk about the food. Don't just think about what the food you're eating. Also think about what liquids you are taking in. And also on this note, I used to make smoothies all the time thinking if I put the cucumbers and the spinach and the apples and the fruit into the blender, then I'm getting lots of nutrition. And that's true in that you are getting the vitamins and minerals, but when you blend it, it's basically digesting that fiber and it goes through your system way faster and you'll get a higher spike of insulin. I haven't made smoothies for about 2 years now. I might get back into it in the future because it is some variety, and I am trying to have as much variety in my diet to make it not boring. And so having a smoothie once in a while can be an option for you. But when I was losing the weight, it was really hard not to limit those, and I realized I could take in a lot of carbs and sugar. So just be aware of that. If you are maybe stalled on your weight loss and you are drinking a lot of smoothies, ideally you're making the smoothies from scratch with no added chemicals. That's ideal because it's a one ingredient food, but remember that it will spike your insulin a little higher or your blood sugar a little higher because basically it's already pre-digested and it goes much quicker through your system. Maybe have them at the end of your meal after you've had a full meal, and then it will help it not be such a quick spike. In general, I just try to eat the plain whole fruit so it's got all the fiber there and it slows the digestion. We didn't have blenders 400 or 500 years ago, so ideally we want to go back and see what did we do in the past. We were able to sustain that diet, and that's one more tip to help you on your weight loss journey. I created a course based on my losing 80 pounds, and I was able to keep the weight off, which was unbelievable for me. After 40 years of doing something and then actually getting different results. So I wrote a book about it, and I wrote 2 workbooks, and now I have this course, and I can't wait to share everything that I learned that made it work, that made it stick, that made it not be another yo-yo diet. There's 12 modules, there's 36 lessons, a total of 45 videos. It's almost 12 hours of videos. And I have a 2.5-hour cooking class in the middle of the course, and then the 18 bonuses. And it's everything from charts, checklists, challenges, journals, schedules. And I'm really excited to share all of these with you because these are what makes it work. These are the practical things that after you've watched the course, and then it's like, what do I do? When you have all of these tools, these are practical things that are going to help you on that journey. And this journey could take 6 months, 12 months, a year and a half, 2 years, depending on how much weight you have to lose. So you need tools, you need things to help you on that journey. Thank you so much for watching this. So I hope to see you in the course.